Hold on, sweetie.
Hello. Are you on a tour with us today? What's the departure charge? Is that 2:30 down there? Yeah. You see the lady in the white? Yeah. The line behind her. Okay. Awesome. Welcome, guys. You too. Isaac has it. Thank you for coming. Every day.
Get away from my family. No, but no, I like they do have places here, but I didn't walk in so.
Hot space here, so we're gonna start taking some jobs. Welcome on aboard, guys. There's lots of space on this floor, so wherever you'd like. Guys, lots of space on board.
Did you want to stay up here?
Yeah.
Oh no, we can't. We can't do this.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, the side I didn't really get a chance to know. Cheryl.
Well, that one has no sun coming from the back.
All nonsense all the time.
Okay.
The worst.
Aboard.
So loud.
Sorry?
Yeah, so loud. Just
She says it's too loud.
Yeah, I can adjust the volume. You're also more than welcome to move positions. This is our standard volume. How's that?
where's the speaker?
It's right above your head.
Oh, that may be important. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Welcome aboard. My name is Rachel. I'm going to be your captain and driver today. This is Riley. Riley's going to be your tour guide / first mate. Before we get going, we're going to do a very quick safety brief. Make sure we're all nice and safe on land, but also when we go out into the harbor. A couple notes on this vehicle to start. The harbor hopper is very large. Streets of Halifax are not. Means we're going to get close to stuff. Anything you can imagine. Hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. As well, when we're on land, you're please remain seated. When we're out in the water, you're more than welcome to stand up, take a picture, or look at something. Final note on the vehicle itself. Harbor hoppers have a very interesting history. Riley is going to tell you about it. Part of that history is that they do not have any suspension. What that means is on land, correct. The laughter from the back, that is what that means. It means it's bouncy on land. Totally normal, just giving you a heads up. When we're in the water, a couple other safety features. On either side of the top deck, there is a life ring. See anyone in the Halifax Harbour? Probably don't want to be. Please throw them that ring. We will pick them up. In the very back corner, there's a large white capsule. It looks like a giant marshmallow. That's our 75-person inflatable life raft. In case of us having to deploy for any reason whatsoever, we'll give you instructions, so just wait for us on that. But finally, and most importantly, under your seats, you will find life jackets. So, about 50 adult-sized jackets aboard. For anyone who's a little smaller, that's anyone under 95 pounds, special jackets. Those are found up at the front deck. They are tucked in along the sides. They look like the adult size, quite a bit smaller, and are marked child. Very easy to spot visually. You only got to wear them in the case of an emergency, in which case I will tell you, but Riley's going to show you how to put it on. So you slip it over your head. Chin strap, you're going to buckle it so that the orange bit rests beneath your chin. It's designed to hold your neck up. Long black strap around the back. And then you're going to clip it on the jacket opposite side and tug tight to you. Beautiful. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Excellent. That is it from me then. I'm going to fire up, hand you folks off to Riley. Have a lovely time.
best meal too. This rock here.
I can't imagine.
Okay, before we get started, is there anybody named Mike on board today? Just had to do my mic check. Perfect. As Captain Rachel mentioned, my name is Riley. I will be your tour guide on board today. How are we all feeling today, everybody? Woo! Feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good as well to be here here in Halifax. Since we are strapped together for the next hour, I'll just tell you guys a little bit about myself. So I'm born and raised right here in Halifax. This is currently my second season here working on the Harbour Hopper. I'm heading into my 4th year at Dalhousie University in the fall time. Hopefully I graduate next year for parents' sake and for my dad's wallet, but we'll see. And as for plans after graduation, still figuring it out, but I'll get there. And in my free time, I like taking walks through the city and trying out all the bars and restaurants that Halifax has to offer. So if you guys want a recommendation for a bar, restaurant, things to do, come talk to me after the tour and I will try my best to help you out. So enough about me, let's hop on with the tour today. So the vessel that we're sitting on actually is not called a Harbour Hopper. Nope, this thing is called a Lark 5. Lark stands for lighter, amphibious, resupply cargo, and the 5 stands for 5 tons, which is the amount that the vessel can carry. There were about 900 of these built during the Vietnam War by the US government for $900 million. So if you do some quick math, you'll realize you're sitting on $1 million vessel today. You guys, congratulations. It doesn't feel like it. As you go through Halifax, you know what I mean. It's loud, it's bumpy, it's slow. For some reason, there's only one seatbelt on the entire thing, but hey, they still work. Nowadays, he's still online for about $80,000. We're gonna go ahead, get some money together, buy your own Harbour Hopper. Be my guest. Can't say that if you didn't give you any good ideas. We actually have 12 of these vessels right here in Halifax. We do 6 of them for tours, 6 of them for parts. There's some other ones in PEI. There's some up in Iceland as well. These boats were originally painted black and beige with shark teeth painted on the front, and guns were located on the front and back of the vessel. Obviously, people here in Halifax were the biggest fans of the guns, so they took them off, painted over the shark teeth, and then added these very comfortable seats you guys are sitting on. Kind of comfortable. And now it is your friendly neighborhood Harbour Hopper. People here in Halifax are pretty big fans of the Hopper. Lots of people will stop, wave, say hi, take pictures. You guys are like celebrities for the next 5 minutes here in Halifax, so take it in, embrace it, wave at everybody. But if you wave at somebody and they do not wave back at you, they are probably from Toronto. Let's be honest. Kidding. Am I kidding? I'm not sure. Also beside the vessel is our mascot Tibber painted on the side. Tibber is a frog. Not sure why our mascot is a frog, because frogs don't live in the ocean, but he's there. And Tibber is actually ribbit spelled backwards, which sounds much better than Gorf, which is frog spelled backwards. And this whole Tibber, Gorf, frog, ribbit thing leads me to the Harbour Hopper ribbit. Pass with the Harbour Hopper out on the water, see a group of people, see a friend who I want to embarrass. I get the whole boat to yell, ribbit at them. So on the count of 3, give me your best ribbit. 1, 2, 3. Ribbit! 1, 2, 3. Ribbit! Painful enough for me, you guys. I'm just kidding. We'll do that out later on the water, but it's on the Harbour Hopper tour without bad jokes, bad traffic, and a ribbit. I also want to mention that since we are a pretty small group on board today, if anybody ever has any questions, anything like that, first off, at a like, just raise your hand and I'll be happy to help. One final introduction I have to do is an introduction to the city of Halifax. But before I do that, we have to acknowledge that we are on unceded, unsurrendered Mi'kmaq territory. The Mi'kmaq people have been here in Halifax for thousands of years, since the end of the last ice age, where Halifax was colonized back in 1749 by the English, led by Edward Cornwallis, who committed many atrocities against the indigenous peoples here in Canada. The name for Halifax is actually Scotia, which means the Great Harbour, which we'll be going on to later. Let's do history of one day in colonial history of Halifax, but there's much more history to this land. We have to recognize that we are all treaty peoples. Halifax is currently part of the HRM, or the Halifax Regional Municipality, which includes Halifax, Dartmouth, Bedford, Halifax County, altogether a population of about 440,000. Halifax is known as a city of firsts. We are home to the first post office in the country, and the first and the first newspaper in the country as well, established back in 1752. That was the Halifax Examiner. And Halifax is also home to the first zoo in North America, established here in 1846. And Nova Scotia, the province we're in, has the most lighthouses out of any province or state for that matter. There's over 150 lighthouses right here in Nova Scotia, which is more than 20% of the lighthouses in the entire country. The oldest one is down in Sandborough, Nova Scotia, built back in 1758. Here on the right-hand side, we're passing by St. Paul's Anglican Church. I'm hard time saying that word. It's built back in 1750. It's the oldest building here in Halifax, the oldest place of Anglican worship in North America, and it was also used as a mortgage shelter in the aftermath of the Halifax explosion, which I'll talk about more on the water later. The street we're passing by here right now is called Argyle Street. Argyle Street is my favorite street here in Halifax because it's the street with the most bars on it. Halifax actually has the most bars per capita in the entire country. Go downtown on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hey, even a Monday night, I don't judge. Have a great time downtown in Halifax. See me, make sure you say hi. On the left-hand side here is the Convention Center, and in the middle is Rogers Square. Here the Toronto Raptors went to the final back in 2019. They showed all the games in the middle. They got to celebrate the championship. And during things such as the Olympics, World Cup, World Junior, playoffs, show all the games there as well. It's pretty busy downtown. And the Convention Center was completed back in 2018. It cost around $500 million. It is the largest convention center in Atlantic Canada. One side to the other, or the back to the You guys will also notice we came up a very steep hill, and if you walk through Halifax, you will feel like you're literally constantly walking up hills. As the Halifax is built on a glacial drumlin, and streets are laid out in a military grade formation, which means that Halifax is full of steep hills, but these steep hills also mean Haligonians have amazing legs. I think that's really the same thing. Coming up here on the left-hand side, this building here on the corner is the Halifax Academy building, built back in 1878. It's the oldest active academic building in the country. It used to be a high school, but now belongs to Mascot University, which is one of 6 college divisions here in Halifax, along with Dalhousie, St. Mary's, MSVU, NSCC, and King's College. Around 50,000 students in Halifax every single year, very busy student town. We're currently going to go to the top of Citadel Hill. It's kind of windy around the top of the hill. If you have, make sure that you hold on. You can't stop and pick it up. Like that, hold on to your hat. Citadel Hill is the 6th most visited National Historic Site in the country. We get around 500,000 visitors a year here. It gets really busy, especially in the summertime. It's a great spot to watch the sunset, the sunrise, the picnic, get a tan. In the wintertime, it's a great spot for sledding. And as we go to the top of the hill, it's a great time to take pictures and videos of the city of Halifax. I take great views on the entire city, out on the water, the commons. It's a great time. Coming up here on the right-hand side, we're going to pass by the Old Town Clock. It was built back in 1803. And the clock still operates its original mechanisms. They have one of the gears on twice a week, making the time is accurate on the clock. And even though the one that gears up twice a week, that clock is always at least 2 minutes behind, but hey, it still works. And the clock was commissioned because they retired the soldiers ultimately to work, so they built a big clock right on the middle of the hill. On the left-hand side here, we're going to pass by the entrance into Fort George. You see guys dressed up in the traditional regalia, and they have a cool little history program here on the inside, which is dressed up as soldiers, civilians, soldiers' wives. They'll do drills to work your nap into the inside of the fort for the summertime. And as we go around the fort, we'll be taking lots of twists and turns. This says Fort George is built what's called a Bastion formation, which essentially means it's built in a painted star. This built in this formation sets onward to the top of the hill. There's always at least 2 lines of fire going over you, no matter where they're at. There's great sight lines over the entire city, and the star formation is much more stable than a circular formation. Other features of this Bastion formation include the dry moat that goes from the fort. It goes down about 20 to 40 feet, depending on where you're at. You can get a view right here. And it was kind of thought that from the bottom of the hill up to the top, with all the grass up from the top here, but sort of act like an optical illusion. It looked like how continuous slope to the top. So in the midst of battle, the Hackers were known as the tank and fallen, nothing else happens after that. But even though the fort has all these defenses, it was actually never attacked from last year in Halifax, but it was conquered just once though. So back in 2006, a woman named Catherine from Ontario, from Halifax, celebrated her birthday. She had a lot of fun downtown. She came up the hill, she got on top of the fort, and she actually took down the Union Jack flag up on top of the hill. She had her own flag with her called a Gin Pennant, which is a pink flag with a kitty glass on it. She raised up her own flag, and she became the only person on top of the fort, almost tried for treason, every single hill for life, everyone was Scotia for 10 years, and she did all her 55th birthday. So, very accomplished woman, if I do say so myself. And the last of the fort was used for any military activity was during World War II. It was used as temporary barracks for the anti-aircraft system. And after World War II, they wanted to flatten it out and turn it into a large parking lot. By 1951, it was declared a National Historic Site. That's great that we can hear in Halifax today. On the right-hand side here are the Garrison Grounds. The Garrison Grounds are a sort of natural amphitheater. It's a great spot for different musical festivals throughout the year. Over the years, we've had artists such as Kanye West, AC/DC, the Backstreet Boys perform here, and throughout the year we'll have some pride events, cultural events. We recently had a comedy festival here at the Garrison Grounds. We had a lot of views out of them. And since the Bush just cried me here in Halifax, I have a good joke for you guys. What type of jail does Rainbow go to? A prison. Thank you very much. On the hill on the left-hand side of the green grass here, you guys might see some robotic lawnmowers, the one just right up there. It costs a lot of money, it takes a lot of time to mow an entire hill, that's why there's robotic lawnmowers. And last year, one of them fell to the pit, and that's the only cause of around up here. On the top of the hill, on the left-hand side, so those two ship masts standing there, those are called messaging posts. So the taller one was used for the notice in that day, it's by the company flags, and the shorter one there is for the messaging system for the province. They would move ropes and magnets depending on the message, and they would communicate with posts like this on George's Island and now Place Royal and other spots all throughout the province. Another tradition up here on Citadel Hill is the noontime cannon. As the name suggests, it's a cannon that goes off at noontime. It goes off every day of the year besides Christmas Day. It started back in 1847, so people knew what to say the pocket watches to. And nowadays, it's just a nuisance to me and it just scares tourists. If you hear big boom about the 12 o'clock, don't worry, don't fright, just the noontime cannon. And here on the left, on this red sign here, you see it says thank you in 3 languages. It has English, French, and the Mi'kmaq language. And the Mi'kmaq language is the first official language of the province of Nova Scotia. On the left-hand side here, we're going to go by Royal Artillery Park. It was built back in 1816. It's home to the oldest military men's home in the country, the last state of military barracks in Halifax, and they also have the oldest military library collection in the country. The collection there is called the Cambridge Collection, started back in 1810. Also at the have there is a manual from 1675 called How to Build a Military Fortification. And this house ahead of us here on the left right there on the corner is the Bollard House. So soldiers were often given really strange plots of land to build their houses on, and that guy had 10 kids, so how to make it like he was given and built a 5-sided house. Much more spacious than the 4-sided house, and now the person that lives here has a cool-looking house, and we talk about it every single day. If you go to the top of the hill here on the right-hand side, and you can use your imagination, imagine it's all overgrown, of people, you kind of see the illusion they were going for, kind of. Let's get a better view of the naval leadership of the garrison grounds right here. I also like to mention the Campbell Cemetery on my tour. It's further down the road down here. We don't pass by it, but many famous Nova Scotians are buried in the Campbell Cemetery, which is by Ola Desmond, who was a black activist from New Glasgow, Nova Scotia, on the back of the $10 bill. Joseph Howe, the premier here in Nova Scotia back in the 1830s, and Alexander Keith, the brewer, are all buried in the Campbell Cemetery. People sometimes ask when this building is here on the left-hand side is. It's just a really large YMCA building. There's apartments on the other side. But my friend's ex-boyfriend is lifeguard in there, so I'm not allowed in there anymore, but I'm sure it's very nice. Probably worth your time. It's not a job for me to go in. It's not a joke. On the right-hand side here are the public gardens. They were opened up back in 1873. They're actually a Victorian-style garden. To be a Victorian-style garden, you need to meet a few different standards. You need at least 4 types of trees and flowers. There are over 140 other public gardens. You need at least 1 model ship in your pond. There are 2 model ships in the public gardens. There is a model of the HMCS Sackville, which you'll be seeing later. There is also a model of Titanic, which you'll not be seeing later. The path can be wide enough for 2 women in Victorian-style gowns to walk side by side. That sounds kind of silly, but the wide paths come in handy nowadays. But the public gardens are a super popular spot for your prom photos or wedding photos to get done. You can learn paths and all this stuff to dresses or anything like that. But they're super well maintained. I recommend a walk through, especially around this time of year. All the flowers are blooming, lots of ducks to see. They're open every day from sunrise till sunset. And here on the right-hand side, you'll see the main gates right here. Only the gates on the sides are opened up. The ones in the middle only open up as royalty visiting Halifax.
Someone was over there. Take this video.
Does anybody have any questions so far? Are we all good? Beautiful. Beautiful. We're going to turn down onto Spring Garden Road. Spring Garden Road last name because there was a National Spring Fair down here in the gardens, so Spring Garden Road. Spring Garden Road is the busiest street here in Halifax, or pedestrian street, I should say. Around 40,000 people use Spring Garden Road every day for some shopping services. Looking for a pharmacy, bank, McDonald's, finding here on Spring Garden Road. Spring Garden Road is also the busiest street east of Montreal, north of Boston. What else is Montreal north of Boston? Not much. It's the busiest street here. On the left-hand side there is the Oasis Bar. Oasis was the first bar in the country to allow women to go by themselves but had to be accompanied by a man. If you're looking for a souvenir, I recommend Jennifer's Nova Scotia here on the corner on the left-hand side. Jennifer's has souvenirs done by over 100 different local artists and crafters. Want to support local, souvenir, you have to go to Jennifer's. If you're looking for a local grocer, I recommend going on the corner up here to Peach Boutique. They have tons of produce from different farmers around the province and have a great international snack section. And if you walk through the south end of Halifax, you can see lots of Victorian style houses. Those style houses used to come up from Garden Road up until the 1940s. And the last Victorian style house is that blue house there on the left hand side. You guys, it's a fixer upper, let's be honest with each other. But hey, it's still standing. Looking for a summertime project? There you go. There also used to be a streetcar between Western Garden Road up until the 1950s. Here on the right hand side, we're past by this construction here. This used to be home to the first department store in the Maritimes, now just a class in Halifax apartment. But we actually do need more apartments here in Halifax. This is the second fastest growing city in the country. Last year, there were only 2,000 people here in Halifax, so growing very quickly. Here on the right is the Halifax Central Library. It was built back in 2014. This part might be bookmarked on the top, but I'll leave that out for interpretation. It's also one of the most eco-friendly buildings in the country. The building uses the rainwater to help with the rooftop garden and with the plumbing system. And it's not the tallest building here in Halifax. We're okay.
Great guy on the outside.
Hopper hasn't killed anybody yet. Yes, the keyword here. Rachel's a good driver. Rachel's a really good driver. Don't worry, you guys. You're in good hands. On the left-hand side here is the Halifax Memorial Library. It was built back in the 1930s. It hasn't been used for about 10 years now, because they can't tear it down or renovate it. This is built from a Victorian warehouse. Many people work until their death. Mouse really crushed from under here, under the road to the old burial grounds, about 600 people. And tearing down or renovating that building. On the left-hand side here is St. Mary's Basilica, built back in 1820. It's home to the tallest freestanding granite spire in North America. It goes with about 120 feet there in the middle. We also offer tours every day at 10 a.m. or 1 o'clock and 2:30. This is host services up until today if you guys are interested. On the right-hand side here are the old burial grounds. First by the dress back in 1744. About 6 layers of graves, 1,200 tombstones, but there's about 10,000 bodies in total buried in there. These are all different signatures that came to Halifax over the years. The most famous person buried in there is a man by the name of Major General Robert Ross. So during the War of 1812, he actually worked here, attempted to burn down the White House. He learned really quickly can't burn down limestone, he tried the building and they made it over in white. He died 2 years later in the Battle of Baltimore. His dead was buried back on English soil. Baltimore in England, Farm, Virginia, so settled here in Halifax. Baltimore to Halifax, still a little bit of a journey, and I preserve his body somehow. They put his body into a barrel and went to make it round. He didn't hear after 3 weeks, he was slightly tickled. And at his funeral, because they're talking and reminiscing, they decided he would not want all that to go to waste. So his friends all drank the barrel rum that he Halifax did. Very good friends, very safe drink of rum. I will not be doing that for anybody, no ideas here. Now we're just down here on Barrington Street. Barrington Street is the oldest and longest street here in the city of Halifax. It was the original layout of the city back in 1749, lots of history here on Barrington. So on the front, some of the buildings, you'll see plaques that are either blue or green. On the plaque, it'll say where the building was built in and what it was originally used for. That means it's a heritage building. With heritage buildings, you go behind the facade, build on top of it, but you can't tear down the front. So it's not really a good job to have from time to time. Also very preserving history here in Halifax a bit better. We'll see what these buildings are looking down on the road on the tour. Here on the left-hand side is the Marble Building. It was built back in 1896. It was owned by a man named George Wright. George Wright was a philanthropist here in Halifax, and he run the first public housing project in the province. He's also the element for Halifax to die in the Titanic. Halifax will pass by St. Paul's once again. St. Paul's sits in Grand Parade Square. These were military drills here, but nowadays we'll have Remembrance ceremony, street lighting, New Year's countdown, Emancipation Day, 3-day ceremonies here in Grand Parade Square. On the right-hand side is this heritage property currently being redone. We'll get a better view of it later, but I'm put down here now a bit early for you guys. As you can see, they have to keep the facade, they can go behind it or build on top of it. Second Grand Parade Square, this large memorial here on the left-hand side is the memorial of fallen soldiers. The across from it is the memorial of fallen peace officers. You can also get married in Grand Parade Square for $150, so while there's Las Vegas, married for sheep in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Pretty much the same thing, right? Not sure I'm right. Keep listening, Mary. building here at the back of City Hall, built back in 1890. The assignment was a fellow harbor hopper. This for you guys. Now to go through Halifax, you guys know some headway. The headways here. Those are probably Halifax headway system, which has 9 office buildings and 3 hotels. Super helpful for people that work in and visit Halifax. It's a pretty much weather for days of the year here. All this construction going on down here is called the Causeway Interchange. So they built this up to build 2 off-ramps going to nowhere. So if you're going down for doing it, adding in screen space, adding in some buildings, it's supposed to be done by 2047, and Halifax will never see any of this construction. With all that said, I'm going to hop off the mic here in 2 moments. We'll be going into the harbor. This is a great time to take pictures or videos. But as you go to the harbor, hold on to your phones, hats, glasses, kids, cameras, hold on to anything like that because I will not be grabbing anything, not the job description. Well, that's it. Hop off the mic. Let's have a break. We're getting on traffic. I'll talk to you all on the water.
Woo! Oh, that's cool.
Could I get 3 people from the left side to move on to the right side? That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Do you want a big splash or a small splash?
Big.
Big splash.
Okay.
Your money's worth. I got you guys.
Okay.
Hold your breath as we go in. Welcome to Halifax Harbour, everybody. That is the most memorable part of the tour. It's actually the 2nd deepest natural ice cream harbour in the world, after one in Sydney, Australia. There on the left-hand side is the Naval Dockyard. We actually have the largest naval dockyard in the entire country. I mean, there is only 2, we're number 1, so we'll take it. I also want to mention that often on our tours, we'll see seals here in the harbour. There are 3 different seals here in the Halifax Harbour. We have gray seals, harbour seals, and the Navy seals. On the right-hand side is supposed to be passed by is Casino Nova Scotia. It was opened up back in 1995 by seniors. The one bankrupt back in 2005. Now it's run by the Canadian Gambling Association. I'm not too much into gambling, but I was here last weekend, and there was one machine that was making money. It's called the ATM. Across the harbour here on the left-hand side is Prince Edward Island. Just joking, just joking. That's Halifax's sister city of Dartmouth. Downtown Dartmouth has come up a lot the past years. There's some great bars, restaurants, shops, walking trails over there in Dartmouth. And then if you're to get over, you can either drive around the Bedford Basin, take one of the 2 bridges, or take the ferry terminal. So this ship here on the left-hand side has the Google logo on it, one further down on the left as well. They've been here since the middle of June. They're installing wind turbines down in Massachusetts, but they have to just wait for perfect conditions, so they're waiting up here, go down when they can. side, these two glass buildings here are the Purdy's Wharf Towers. They're just office buildings, but they're truly the most photographed buildings here in Halifax. They look really nice at sunrise and sunset, especially, all the light reflecting off of them. But they get really hot with all those windows, and they're built without air conditioning. So students at Dalhousie University came up with something called geothermal cooling. These buildings take water from the harbor through those tubes that run through the side of them, and it runs the cold harbor water through the buildings all through the summertime. It's much more eco-friendly than air conditioning. It saves them around $100,000 every year. As we go down along the water, so the headway system is a bit better here. There's over 40 shipwrecks at the bottom of the Halifax Harbour, where there's also 25 Volvo cars. So back in 1968, they were going over shipment of cars, they got damaged along the way. And instead of loading the cars and wasting money, they dump all the cars at the bottom of the harbour. Look for a new car, harbour's just want to go. I'll be safely resting them. And here on the right-hand side is the Harbourfront Marriott Hotel. And as we go by the front of the hotel, you see the three murals coming up on the front. Those are part of the Halifax Mural Festival. The Mural Festival happens every single summer. There's over 20 currently painted all over Halifax, downtown, Liverpool Road, Lodging Streets. They're all done by local artists. I think it's really great. It's very makes up downtown a little bit better. These ones are actually done by students here at County University. On the right-hand side, these buildings here, like the wooden red one, the green one, and the stone ones in there, are part of the historic properties. These were built back in the late 1700s and used as waterfront warehouse storage by privateers. Privateers were kind of like legal privateers commissioned by the Crown, and the most famous privateer from Halifax was a man named Ennis Collins, who was the richest man in the country, who passed away back in 1871. Entering his life from a bank called Collins Bank. Collins Bank is now known as CIBC, and 2 out of the 5 major graduates here in Halifax. So CIBC is Scotia Bank, the Wolf Fountain right here. The original Collins Bank building still up in there in historic properties. It's currently with great restaurants, bars, and shops. It is salty, cooked and block for the lower end.
Wow, really nice.
Ahead of us here on the right-hand side is the ferry terminal. And we actually have the longest running saltwater ferry system in North America here. The ferry started off back in 1752, and it was originally one man and a rowboat all by himself. He was able to go over one person Halifax to Dartmouth at a time, and it would take about 2.5 hours from Halifax over to Dartmouth. Thankfully though, nowadays it takes about 12 minutes, and you won't be by yourself with a stranger on a rowboat, so recommend going over Dartmouth at the time. These 2 terminals over in Dartmouth. There's the Albany Ferry and the Woodside Ferry. There's a nice walking jump with the 2 of them. Ahead of us here on the right is the Cable Wharf. The Cable Wharf is the oldest and longest building here on the boardwalk. It was built back in 1913 and was used to store cables for the telegraph system. Ships docked here are the Harbor Queen and the Court and Spirit. Those standard cruises, party cruises, country cruises, go to in the summertime.
Oh, we got a ribbon.
What? Oh. Guys, hopper ahead of us on the left-hand side. What's we doing in the ribbon? 1, 2, 3.
Ribbon, ribbon. They're like,
He's trying to get us. He can't get us too far. Sitting on the right-hand side, this building here is the Queen's Mark. Construction of the Queen's Mark was completed about a year ago. It consists of restaurants, bars, home to Halifax's first only 5-star hotel, the Mere Hotel. Have a nice weekend, hotel, workhouse, spa, there's just lots to go. The silver sculpture here is called the Beacon, and depending on the weather when the tide is late that day, the beacon will light different layers of light up. And every night after sunset, this will light show that happens with the beacon. 23 ship ahead of us here on the right is the CSS Acadia. It was built back in 1913. CSS stands for Canadian Science Ship. This one did research up in the Arctic. It's also the only ship to through the water during the Halifax explosion, World War I and World War II, and is still being sailing today. It was decommissioned back in 1969. It's now the largest artifact that they have at the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic. go on the Acadia for a tour if you're interested. And the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic is that building over here with the nautical flags on it, just behind the Acadia. The nautical flags say fair winds and safe travels, and the Maritime Museum has the largest collection of one Titanic artifacts in the world. If you're interested in Titanic, marine, exploration history, check out the Maritime Museum. Ship ahead of us here on the right is the K1A1 HMCS Sackville. The Sackville is the last remaining out of over 220 Corvette vessels that were used during World War II. The Corvettes were used as escort cargo ships and sometimes used as defense against U-boats. This one has bunker-firm kill, bunker-firm damage. And the Corvette cars make up the Corvette ships as they were the quickest ones in the fleet and they're very smooth moving. We also have the Sackville for a tour if you're interested. The last building here is called the Summit Building. Back in 1995, we held the G7 Summit here in Halifax. The boardwalk stretches about 4 kilometers to the casino, all the way down to the end of Seaport District. It is one of the longest boardwalks in North America. Picture time! This yacht coming up here on the right-hand side is actually owned by me. Harbor Hopper's my house. Thank you. Very much.
Lucrative
I
job.
thought it was funny too. The island ahead of us here on the left-hand side, the one closest to us, is George's Island. George's Island was used as a prison for the deportation of the Acadians. The Acadians were French people here in Nova Scotia who did not want to go even the English crown. So half the Acadians, or about 10,000, were deported to Nova Scotia. They were sent down to Louisiana, back over to France and Caribbean. This happened in 1755 and 1763. The offer tours over to George Island every weekend in the summertime if you're interested. But if you don't like states, do not go to George Island, as George Island has the most beaches here from the entire country. So I don't know if you go over there. Like states, look at my guess. And the island further behind that is McDowell's Island. It's a hiking trail, like people around here now, people still live there. And down in the Seaport District, which is where the cruise ship is parked, is home to Pier 21. Between 1928 and 1971, we welcomed about 1 million immigrants and refugees into Canada to North Pier 21. During World War II, deployed more than 4,000 soldiers to North Pier 21, and it's currently home to the Canadian Museum of Immigration, which came back in 2018. On the right-hand side is Bishop's Landing, including some apartments, some condos. Condos are all back to those popular restaurants, specialty, sea smoke, and Amano. Also down at the end is a cruise ship terminal, full of 6 cruise ships at once here during peak season, so it's pretty busy. And come up here on the right-hand side, as we start to make the turn, you'll see these twisted lampposts right here, kind of by the orange umbrellas. These lampposts all bent like this after the hurricane went passed through last year. It was so powerful that all these lampposts don't look like this. Just kidding, just lying. It's an art exhibit called the Drunken Lamppost, not done by the hurricane. The architect did this on purpose. Once all that said, I'll hop off the mic for a few moments here, give you guys a break, give myself a break from my voice. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, I'll be happy to help you out. When I come back on the mic near the ferry terminal, I will talk briefly about the Halifax Scotia. Any questions? Do you guys have any questions here or anything? No, we're good. Any questions? Was from great. Okay, great.
Our hotel. Yeah, I'm lucky we're getting 3 boats full today.
So, I'm just going to talk briefly about the Halifax explosion. So during World War I, Halifax was one of the biggest ports in all of North America. Lots of ships stopped before going down to New York before heading over to Europe. So that really busy but disorganized at times. On December 5th of 1917, 2017, the Mont rescue ship tried to come into the harbor. For every night outside of North Island, put down any submarine into the harbor. The Victor submarine was able to get into attack, but the off night of the ship was able to get into the harbor overnight. The Mont had to wait overnight outside of North Island. She took down her flag called the Bravo. The Bravo was red flag with very explosive. She took hers down overnight and she came to the harbor on the morning of September 6th of 1917. She forgot to put that flag back up, and no one knew she was a very important kiloton of TNT gunpowder explosive aboard. As she was coming into the harbor, and the SS Idaho, the Norwegian cargo ship, was leaving the harbor, private communication is down in the Narrows, where the smokestacks are down there. That's the Narrows part of the harbor, and they end up colliding. It wasn't a very big collision. She took a fire on the deck of the Mont Blanc, and she washed ashore in the north end of Halifax. Skaters on the Mont Blanc immediately knew what was going to happen, so they came on trying to warn people. The Dale spoke French, to Halifax for English, and nobody could understand. And after about 20 minutes, at exactly 9:04 a.m., there was a massive explosion. It was the last made explosion before the nuclear era. They did research on the Halifax explosion for the building of nuclear bombs. It killed around 2,000 people, but the 9,000 people were injured. It knocked out every single plane of glass in Halifax and Dartmouth. 2 square kilometers of north and Halifax were completely destroyed as hydrogen districts had to be rebuilt. East of the Mont Blanc, about 4 kilometers away in Dartmouth. It was heard to go as far away as PEI Cape Breton, which goes about 5 hours away from here. It was a 60-foot tidal wave which was created, which was wiped out communities in the north end. And to make matters even worse, that night there was a larger blizzard than there had been all year. So it slowed down the rescue recovery efforts needed to help us out. And many people passed away overnight due to exposure to the elements. And after the explosion, around 25,000 people were left homeless. Even though it was obviously a massive disaster, she was with the explosion, the first step being the British ship in Halifax and Boston. The city plastered heard about this and they declared the state of emergency in their hometown. They sent an entire Harvard medical students to Halifax to help out. The students stayed here for 2 weeks, for Christmas time without pay. People from the streets full of supplies, but really above and beyond. Little thank you for that. Every year since then, Nova Scotia since Boston Maple Christmas tree. If you're ever in Boston at Christmas time, it's the tree out here in Nova Scotia. The explosion was also the largest mass landing in history. Around 1 in 20 people injured have injuries to their eyes or their face, looking for going back onto them. The scene of the section in Halifax back in 1918 helped these folks out. They took a lot of work for the country today.
A lot of people were blinded.
And before we go back onto land, it's going to be a little bit bumpy, so make sure you hold on and that you're seated. No splash this time, snow fun, just slightly bumpy. Let's give Captain Rachel a round of applause for us on the land safely. Thank you, Rachel. For full honesty here, you guys, that's actually the first time this year that no one's gone overboard during a took. No. Thank you to that truck, thank you. Now that we're back up here safe on land, I will talk a little bit about the Titanic in Halifax. So in 1912, Titanic was the largest luxury liner in the world at the time. It was named Unsinkable. On April 10th of 1912, she left her maiden voyage from England set for New York. At 11:20 p.m. on April 14th, she struck an iceberg and capsized in less than 3 hours, which is very quick for a vessel of that size, and about 1,500 people perished in the incident. So at the time, Halifax sent 3 ships out to help with the rescue mission, but the journey to wreck took about 3 days for a recovery mission, and we brought back 209 of the human bodies to Halifax. Of that 209, only 59 were ever recovered by families. The rest are still buried here today. Many of them are buried in the Fairfield Cemetery, which is just in the north end of Halifax. And many of the tombstones just state April 15th, 1912, and have an identification number that's been never identified. Along with the awarded artifacts from the Maritime Museum, Halifax also has the largest private collection of Titanic iceberg artifacts in the world. Most Titanic history here in Halifax. Two Brits history approximately wreck. James Cameron, the director of the movie Titanic, was a big fan of Halifax. He came here quite often to research for the movie, and he showed footage of the variety of scenes of Titanic right here in Halifax. The last scene of the movie, Rose was her neck in the water, and shot right up in the harbor. And actually, when the last day of shooting, they gave Titanic no such blood scene of plain powder. People got food was so everything was a powder burn. On the Titanic truck, our tourism industry in Halifax, so think about it. Thanks to the Titanic, you guys are the Harbor Hopper, but importantly, I have a job here today. As we go through this camping section here on the right-hand side, see a sign that says the boat. Right there. This book boat is the oldest water of America and has been for 4 years. On the right-hand side there is the Blue Nose Shoe Restaurant. Blue Nose was a sailing ship built on Halifax, Scotia back in 1921. For 1 ton of races, it's the most significant sailing ship in Canadian history, coming back on the 10th point. And the Blue Nose 2 is a replica of the Blue Nose that was built that's now down in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Now as we go to the intersection, you see a better view of the heritage property once again. They're naming it the Press Club, which is the press that was here. The building here on the right-hand side we pass by is Province House, which was built back in 1818. It's the oldest house government in the country. The statue at the back here is War Memorial. The one at the front will be a statue of Joseph Howe. On the left-hand side here on the corner is the Bank of Nova Scotia building. As well as the flagship Scotia Bank building, and all the walls, different entries to the building. Those are the kids back here in Nova Scotia. On the left-hand side here, passed by Founders Square. Founders Square was the Canadian opposite of the White Star Line, or the line that was charged with Titanic. And this view here on your stay in Halifax, with Pier 21, the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia, the Museum of Natural History, the Amphibious Museum, where I recommend Alder Case Brewery down on Water Street. The brewery played a very big part during the D-Day riots back during World War II. During World War II, the population of Halifax doubled with facilities and not. After victory in Europe, around 8,000 visitors in Halifax to celebrate. When they got here, they realized there was no liquor, so they just opened them over riot. They cost about $5 million in damages, knocked out resistance and painted glass, and 36 people were jailed. The only ways that they stopped these riots was to open the doors to Alexander Keats, gave everybody free beer to calm them down, and it worked. Only 3 people died that day, all their alcohol poisoning. Very common in Halifax. But the brewery's still open today. It was 1820 to make all their special ales there if you're interested. There's also a cool market that happens on the weekends. And if you look down here on the right-hand side, you will see the parking lot. That does mean that the tour is over, but that does mean that you survived the Harbor Hopper. Congratulations, everybody. It does not always happen. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today. I'm so glad I got to meet all of you, but more importantly, you guys got to meet me. If you had a good time, feel free to leave a review on Google Reviews or TripAdvisor. My name is Riley, so R-I-L-E-Y. If you had a bad time, my name is Riley, so R-Y-L-E-E. A few safety things here on the top right-hand deck. Just watch out as we go to the parking lot, as I'm usually going to brush along the side, but just lean in and you'll be A-okay. Please stay seated until the engine is turned off. I can stairs into the back. I'll be the back there for questions, comments, recommendations, anything like that. Or if you'd like to leave a review, you can contact myself, as we accept them, but they aren't expected. With all that said, hopefully the weather stays nice and it looks here today, but you never know here in Halifax, you guys. But thank you once again. Once again, your captain's name is Rachel. My name is Riley. Do not miss me too much after this. Thank you so much, everybody.
Now that is weird. I would want to put some gas. I don't know.
You're like, nope, I can't.
Or you go here. If you did continue to drive, you would have been back there.
Salad cream
I'm surprised they You want to get it out of here? Yeah. It's on you now. Yeah, we can do another trip. It's got the sea lights. That was great. First time on the ocean. No, I'm sure yeah, we actually went whale watching once. Horrifying. Do you want me to go down there and see? I have. It's pretty bad.
See ya. Guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye. Okay.